Meet Bob, an enthusiastic homeowner with a passion for landscaping. One sunny afternoon, he decides to surprise his neighbor by trimming their bushes, just as he likes his own, neatly squared and perfectly symmetrical. Bob believes he's following the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. However, his neighbor prefers wild, natural shapes and is less than thrilled with Bob's handiwork. This humorous mix-up highlights how applying the golden rule too literally, without considering another person's preferences, can lead to unintended consequences. Bob's well-meaning gesture serves as a reminder that empathy is essential for truly understanding what others value. Throughout history, the golden rule has stood as a cornerstone of ethical guidance in societies around the world. Its simple message, treat others as you would like to be treated, resonates across cultures, religions, and philosophies, earning universal respect and acceptance. Whether found in ancient texts or modern teachings, this principle is rarely questioned and often regarded as the highest standard of moral conduct. From Eastern philosophies to Western traditions, the golden rule serves as a common thread that unites diverse communities in their pursuit of fairness and compassion. Its enduring influence highlights humanity's shared understanding of empathy and mutual respect. While the golden rule, treating others as you wish to be treated, has long been considered a moral cornerstone, its effectiveness is not without question. Applying this principle universally can sometimes result in unintended negative consequences. For instance, individuals who consistently prioritize others' needs over their own may experience burnout, feeling emotionally and physically drained. Additionally, when personal boundaries are overlooked in the pursuit of kindness, resentment can build over time. Not everyone shares the same preferences or tolerances, so assuming that what is good for oneself is good for all may lead to misunderstandings. It is important to recognize that empathy and self-care must coexist to foster healthy relationships and personal well-being. Consider for a moment how the golden rule applies to your own life. Are there instances where you might not want others to treat you exactly as they wish to be treated? Perhaps there are ways you prefer not to be loved as yourself, whether that's in the form of advice, gestures, or boundaries. Reflect on these personal preferences and how they shape your interactions with others. By sharing your experiences and perspectives, you contribute to a deeper understanding of empathy and respect. How do your unique needs influence the way you interpret and practice the golden rule? The golden rule, often phrased as treat others as you would like to be treated, stands as a cornerstone of ethical thought across cultures and religions. Its simplicity is striking, offering a clear and accessible guideline for interpersonal behavior. By encouraging empathy and mutual respect, the golden rule fosters harmonious relationships and social cohesion. Despite its straightforward nature, the principle addresses complex moral situations by inviting individuals to consider the perspectives and feelings of others. Over time, this rule has shaped modern moral teaching, serving as a foundational lesson in classrooms, families, and communities. Its enduring relevance highlights the universal human desire for fairness and kindness in our interactions. The golden rule, often phrased as treat others as you would like to be treated, is celebrated for its straightforward approach to ethical behavior. However, its childlike simplicity can be problematic when applied to the nuanced realities of adult relationships and complex social situations. People differ widely in their preferences, boundaries, and cultural backgrounds, meaning that what feels respectful or kind to one person may not be perceived the same way by another. The rule also overlooks power dynamics, conflicting interests, and the need for empathy that goes beyond personal experience. In practice, ethical decision-making often requires a deeper understanding of others' perspectives and needs, rather than assuming they mirror our own. As a result, relying solely on the golden rule may lead to misunderstandings or unintended harm, highlighting the importance of more sophisticated approaches to interpersonal ethics. The as yourself glitch refers to a hidden flaw in the common advice to treat others as you would treat yourself. This command assumes that everyone maintains a healthy and compassionate relationship with themselves. However, for individuals who struggle with self-criticism or low self-esteem, following this advice can inadvertently encourage negative or even harmful behaviors toward others. Instead of fostering kindness, it may perpetuate patterns of judgment or neglect. Recognizing this glitch highlights the importance of considering one's own self-relationship before applying such guidance universally. By understanding these underlying assumptions, we can approach interpersonal interactions with greater empathy and awareness. Self-criticism and self-sabotage are common experiences that can deeply affect our behavior and relationships. When we struggle with our own insecurities, it's easy to project these feelings onto others, often without realizing it. This projection can manifest as judgmental attitudes or unhelpful comments, creating barriers rather than fostering understanding. Instead of addressing our own doubts, we may criticize others, reflecting our internal struggles outward. Such interactions can damage trust and hinder meaningful connections. Recognizing this pattern is the first step toward breaking the cycle and cultivating more supportive, empathetic relationships. The Golden Rule, which encourages us to treat others as we wish to be treated, is often seen as a universal guide to kindness. However, this principle can inadvertently lead to projection, where we impose our own preferences and emotional needs onto others. Instead of fostering genuine empathy, it risks assuming that what feels good or right for us will automatically be suitable for someone else. This approach can result in emotional contamination, as our personal biases and unresolved feelings seep into our interactions. True compassion requires understanding the unique perspectives and experiences of others, rather than simply mirroring our own desires. By relying solely on the Golden Rule, we may overlook the importance of listening and adapting to individual needs, ultimately falling short of authentic kindness. The tyranny of good intentions refers to a phenomenon where well-meaning actions, driven by our own preferences and beliefs, can inadvertently cause harm. When we try to help others based on what we think is best, rather than understanding their actual needs, our empathy may become misguided. This approach often overlooks the unique perspectives and experiences of those we aim to support. As a result, our good intentions can lead to solutions that are ineffective or even counterproductive. Recognizing this tendency is crucial for fostering genuine understanding and meaningful assistance. By reflecting on our motivations, we can avoid imposing our values and instead cultivate empathy that truly respects others' individuality. Sarah loves spending her weekends hiking in the mountains, finding peace in the solitude of nature. Chad, her friend, preferred lively gatherings and believed that sharing his favorite activities was the best way to show care. Following the Golden Rule, Chad invited Sarah to crowded parties, thinking she would enjoy them as much as he did. However, Sarah felt uncomfortable and out of place, wishing Chad would understand her need for quiet. By assuming his preferences were universal, Chad overlooked Sarah's individuality. This example shows how the Golden Rule, when applied without empathy, can unintentionally erase what makes each person unique. It's not uncommon for people to act with good intentions, yet inadvertently miss the mark by projecting their own needs and values onto others. For example, someone might offer unsolicited advice, believing it to be helpful, without considering whether the recipient actually wants guidance. Gift giving can also illustrate this tendency, as individuals sometimes choose presents based on their own preferences rather than the recipient's tastes. In the workplace, managers may implement policies that reflect their personal work style, assuming it will benefit everyone equally. Even gestures of support, like planning social events, can overlook differing comfort levels or cultural backgrounds. These actions, though meant to foster connection or assistance, can lead to misunderstandings or discomfort when the unique perspectives of others aren't taken into account. The Golden Rule encourages us to treat others as we wish to be treated, often interpreted as loving everyone equally. However, when faced with the sheer number of people in the world, the practicality of this ideal comes into question. Can anyone truly extend the same level of care and compassion to billions of individuals? Attempting to do so may lead to emotional exhaustion or feelings of inadequacy. The expectation to love everyone equally can be overwhelming, placing a heavy burden on our emotional resources. This raises important questions about the limits of empathy and the realistic application of such a universal principle. Limitless obligation often leads to significant personal and emotional consequences. When individuals feel compelled to constantly meet the needs and expectations of others, they may experience burnout, characterized by exhaustion and a decline in overall well-being. The absence of clear boundaries makes it difficult to separate personal priorities from external demands, resulting in a loss of autonomy. Over time, this imbalance can foster feelings of resentment as the individual begins to perceive their efforts as unappreciated or taken for granted. Such resentment may strain relationships and diminish one's sense of fulfillment. Ultimately, the cycle of limitless obligation undermines both mental health and the quality of interactions with others. The golden rule, often summarized as treat others as you would like to be treated, has guided ethical behavior for centuries. However, its core flaw lies in assuming that others share our preferences, values, and experiences. This approach can unintentionally overlook the unique perspectives and needs of those around us. By reversing the order, we begin with self-awareness, understanding our own motivations and biases. Only then can we truly appreciate others as individuals, each with distinct backgrounds and desires. This shift encourages us to move beyond projection and embrace genuine empathy, fostering deeper and more respectful connections. Getting your own house in order is a crucial step toward personal growth and healthy relationships. It begins with self-awareness, which allows you to recognize your strengths, weaknesses, and the patterns that shape your behavior. By practicing self-discipline, you can address areas that need improvement and make conscious choices that align with your values. This process helps prevent the tendency to project unresolved personal issues onto others, which can strain interactions and create misunderstandings. When you take responsibility for your own actions and emotions, you foster a more authentic and constructive environment, both for yourself and those around you. Ultimately, focusing on self-improvement lays the foundation for more meaningful connections and a greater sense of well-being. Imagine a world where the guiding principle is to love your neighbor as themselves. This revolutionary approach encourages us to move beyond assumptions and embrace genuine curiosity about others. By observing and respecting each person's unique experiences and perspectives, we foster deeper understanding and empathy. Rather than projecting our own values or expectations, we honor the individuality of those around us. This mindset challenges us to appreciate diversity and recognize the richness it brings to our communities. Ultimately, loving our neighbor as themselves means building relationships founded on respect, openness, and authentic connection. Loving others as yourself often means paying attention to their unique preferences and boundaries. For example, respecting introverts might involve giving them space when they need it, or choosing quieter activities that make them feel comfortable. Supporting friends can look different depending on their needs. Some may appreciate a listening ear during tough times, while others might value practical help, like running errands or offering advice. It's important to ask what makes someone feel cared for, rather than assuming everyone wants the same kind of support. By noticing and honoring these differences, we show genuine love and consideration. This approach helps build trust and deeper connections in our relationships. The golden rule, which encourages us to treat others as we would like to be treated, offers a simple guideline for ethical behavior. However, its limitations become apparent when we consider that individual preferences and needs can vary widely. Relying solely on our own perspective may lead to misunderstandings or unintended harm. In contrast, cultivating self-awareness allows us to recognize our biases and assumptions, while genuine empathy enables us to understand and appreciate the unique experiences of others. By moving beyond the golden rule and embracing these qualities, we can foster deeper connections and respond to others in ways that truly respect their individuality. As we've explored, true compassion begins with understanding and responding to the unique needs of each individual. By adopting a more thoughtful and personalized approach, we can make a genuine difference in the lives of those around us. We invite you to reflect on your own actions and consider how you might bring deeper empathy into your daily interactions. For more insights and inspiration, continue engaging with our channel's content. Together, let's build a community rooted in meaningful compassion and thoughtful connection.